This is the Ridstar Q20 electric bike, a chunky, moped-style frame on 20x4 fat tires with a long bench saddle, dual suspension, and a bold headlight that looks like it belongs on a small motorcycle. The stance is low and muscular, with an aluminum frame, alloy steel wheels, and a compact cockpit that puts a clear LCD in the center and a phone mount with a USB charge port up front. It's the kind of look that turns heads at stoplights and makes people ask what it is, not whether it's fast. I've been riding the 1500-watt, 48-volt, 20-amp-hour version for 3 months, mostly for short city commutes and weekend paths with some packed dirt and grass. From my experience, it's a throttle-first machine that just happens to have pedals. The geometry puts your feet a bit forward, and the seat doesn't adjust like a normal bicycle, so pedaling works, but it's not efficient. I still use the 7-speed drivetrain to spin on flats or help on hills, but I ride it like a light electric motorcycle most of the time. Key features that matter to me start with the motor and battery. The 1500-watt brushless hub has punchy torque off the line. It pulls cleanly to an indicated 32-33 miles per hour on flat pavement with my 185-pound weight, which matches the claim. Hill performance is solid. It will climb city hills on throttle alone, though I'll add a couple pedal strokes at the start to keep things smooth. The 48-volt, 20-amp-hour removable battery is UL certified, and the included charger tops it from near empty to full in about 5 hours for me. On throttle-only rides at mixed speeds, I average around 28 to 35 miles per charge. On Pass 1, pedal assist at the lowest setting, I've stretched into the 50-60 mile range, keeping speeds conservative. Quick note for newcomers. Pass means the motor helps while you pedal, and you can choose how much help with levels on the display. The ride is a mixed bag. The fat tires give a big contact patch and stability on sand, gravel, and pothole-strewn streets. The suspension is there, but it's not plush. The fork and rear shock take the edge off, yet they're springy and underdamped, so sharp bumps can still slap your wrists if you hit them fast. I dialed down the rear preload to soften it, which helped, but this isn't a magic carpet setup. In my opinion, if comfort on rough roads is your top priority, plan on upgrading the shocks down the line. Braking has been reliable after a careful setup. My bike came with hydraulic disc brakes, and they're strong once you bed the pads in and align the calipers so the rotors don't rub. Out of the box, I had a little squeal and a slight rub on the front rotor. 5 minutes of adjustment fixed that. I've seen online chatter about high-speed fork shutter under hard braking on similar bikes. I haven't experienced that, and I do regular torque checks on the axle nuts and pinch bolts to be safe. For anyone new to e-bikes, hydraulic brakes mean the levers use fluid to push the pads, which gives more consistent stopping than cable-only systems, and usually requires less frequent adjustment. Tires deserve their own note. The stock rubber is called puncture-resistant, but I still picked up a rear flat in week 2 from a construction staple. After that headache, I added thicker tubes and tire liners, and it's been trouble-free since. If you'll ride in debris or on rough shoulders, I'd swap to higher quality tires sooner rather than later. It transforms the experience from I hope to I'm confident. The cockpit is simple and gets the job done. The LCD shows speed, battery bars, distance, and pass level in large, readable text. The phone mount with the thumb screw is handy for GPS, and the USB port keeps the phone topped up, but tightening that screw every time is slower than I'd like. I eventually replaced the mount with my own quick-release system. The headlight is bright enough for night city speeds. The taillight is visible, though I added a clip-on blinky for extra safety. This specific trim doesn't have turn signals or mirrors, so I added a bar-end mirror and use arm signals out of habit. The seat looks comfy and it's fine for 30 to 45 minutes, but on longer rides I start feeling pressure. Again, it's more mope than bicycle in how you sit. I'm 5'10", and the reach to the bars is relaxed for me. If you're closer to 5'4", getting a flat foot at stops might be tough. If you're over 6'2", the pedaling position will feel cramped. That said, I rarely sit there spinning for long. I'm either cruising on throttle or using light pass to keep cadence up without straining. Build quality and setup matter. The brand says 90% pre-assembled, and that's accurate, but the last 10% is critical. I installed the front wheel, aligned the brake calipers, checked every bolt with a torque wrench, and used medium thread locker on the stem, handlebar clamp, and rack hardware. A week later, I rechecked everything. That simple routine prevents most surprises. The bike is not light, and lifting it onto a car rack takes some effort, so I use a ramp for loading and unloading. The good news is the frame feels sturdy, and the max payload of 330 pounds gives plenty of headroom for a backpack, lock, and groceries. Noise and feel are pleasant. There's a soft electric whine when the motor spools up, not harsh, and the drivetrain shifts cleanly under light load. The throttle has a tiny delay at low speed, which took me a day to adapt to. Once moving, modulation is smooth. The controller settings out of the box were generous, and I didn't need to unlock anything to reach the claimed top speed, though I strongly suggest checking your local rules. Many areas cap throttle-only bikes at 20 miles per hour. Ride responsibly, because at 30 plus, you're in small motorcycle territory. I've had 0 electronic faults in 3 months. The battery meter reads a little optimistic in the first half of the charge, and then drops faster from 40% down, which is normal on many e-bikes. The charger gets warm but not hot, and I always charge on a non-flammable surface. The included storage box is handy for a lock, multi-tool, and patches. The manual is basic but clear enough. I supplemented with a torque chart and a few setup videos from other riders. It's perfect for short to medium daily rides, campus, beach paths, and urban errands where you want power on tap and don't want to show up sweaty. It also shines for playful weekend rides where you bounce between pavement and hard-packed trails. If your plan is long pedaling workouts or lots of stair carries, this isn't the right shape or weight class. From my experience, the best upgrades are better tires or liners, quality brake pads after the stock ones wear, a brighter taillight, and a sturdier phone mount. If you like to tinker, this bike is a great platform. If you want maintenance-free from day one, you'll need to be more hands-on than that. In my opinion, the value is strong for what you get. Real 1500-watt punch, a removable UL-certified 20-hour battery, decent lighting, hydraulic stoppers, and a look that turns every ride into a small event. The trade-offs are real too. Heavier than a typical e-bike, suspension that's more show than luxury, stock tires that can be fragile, and ergonomics that favor throttle cruising over efficient pedaling. I'd recommend this for riders who want a fast, moped-style e-bike for commuting and fun, who are comfortable checking bolts and making small adjustments, and who don't mind swapping a couple parts to dial it in. If you need something lighter, with a classic bicycle fit and no setup fuss, you might be happier with a traditional commuter e-bike that tops out at 20 to 28 miles per hour and runs a narrower tire. In conclusion, the Ridstar Q20 in the 1500-watt 48-volt 20-hour trim has delivered exactly the kind of ride I hoped for. Quick, stable, and smile-inducing, with enough battery to cover my week of errands between charges. It's not flawless and it's not low maintenance, but it is a blast when set up right. If you approach it like a small electric moto with pedals, you'll be happier than if you expect a featherweight bicycle that happens to be fast. If this video helped, please subscribe for more honest, real-world gear reviews and drop your questions or your own experience with the Q20 in the comments. Thank you for watching.